Hello, Bruce Scott here in Charleston, South Carolina. Like everybody else, I'm on lockdown, so what better time to fulfill Tam's request than now in doing a video and answering his questions. Very good questions. Number one, graduation year. For me, graduation year is a little different than my playing years. So 92, 3, and 4 were my playing years. I was part of the NCAA quarterfinal team in 94. And after that season, I think we're all pretty tired, so a lot of people kind of took a break. And I left for a little while, came back in 96, and finished my degree in 1998 with a BS in Business Administration. That's my graduation year. My position, that also takes some explaining to do. My redshirt freshman year, I was used as a marking back in training, which meant I was a punching bag for Courtney Murray, who never beat me, and a pincushion for Chad Carruthers, who always beat me. So at 5'4", maybe the shortest marking back in college Charleston history. That evolved spring season when we went up to Silcox Arena to play futsal. Coach, I think, saw maybe a little more technical ability and quickness, and I evolved into a midfield player, outside midfield, attacking and defending. As you all know, you do both jobs, but attacking midfield really is what the role that I fell into and fit best. Why CFC? I was recruited by some small schools in Georgia and Florida, but there were a group of guys from my high school, Benedictine Military School in Savannah, Georgia, who all got accepted to college Charleston, came to visit. We decided to be roommates, and that's why I came here. That first week I was here, I tracked Coach down, and he invited me to come out to training. And again, it was that spring season when he offered me a scholarship and made me a permanent member of the team. So that's how I ended up here. Greatest moment on the field. So my greatest moment on the field is going to be a confession. It was in Holland. We were the first team to do an international trip, and we were in Holland, and we were trained by the Eredivisie team, Roda JC's coaching staff during the day, and we played games at night. So we played 7 games in 10 days. Lost the first game, drew the second game, and won the last 5 games. It was a very good record over there. It was in that last game that we were, it was 0-0, and it was getting toward the end of the game. And this guy that was marking me, I don't know if you know anything about the Dutch people, but they are a big people. This guy was bigger, better, and faster than most other human beings, certainly bigger, better, faster than me. Kind of, if you could imagine, he made Jameson look only slightly above average, not greatly above average like Jameson is. So this guy was a big dude, and I was playing outside left midfield, and the ball got played back to Kevin O'Brien. And we had done this 1,000 times. When the ball got played back to him, I knew what he was going to do. He knew what I was going to do, and I made this crazy run all the way across the field to the right side and up the right sideline into the attacking third. And sure enough, the ball gets played into that space by Kevin O'Brien. So this dude had no idea that I was going to just take off and go to completely the other side of the field, and he had lost me. So he's making up for time here. He's on a full sprint, and as the ball comes over my shoulder, it hits the ground. I flick it up, and he goes right underneath, and he flies past. His momentum just carries it past me, and the ball came down. I got my eyes up. I saw the goalkeeper was off his line, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to hit this with the outside of my right foot. I'm going to put it in the far post, upper 90, beat him on that side. I'm going to score the goal. We're going to win this game. Well, none of that happened. What actually happened is when I hit the ball, it curved inside on the ground. It was going at some pace, and it was right between the 6-yard box and the penalty spot. And guess who was there, as always? Chad Carruthers. And boy, he just slotted that thing home like Chad does. And we won the game 1-0. I got the assist. Chad got the winning goal. And the confession is, when Josh Farrar came over, he said, did you mean to do that? And I said, absolutely. So Josh, I really didn't mean to do that. It was Chad that got me out of jail on that one. Funniest moments on the team. Jeff Terry and I, who've remained friends even up into this age of where we're reaching some sort of edge of maturity. We talk about these things. we like to get philosophical about it, and something I think we both agree on. There weren't a whole lot of fun or funny moments in our playing days. They were filled with hard work and competition. And, there was nothing fun about 6 a.m. Weight training and running rainbirds and running sprints after a game when you hadn't played well, or sending John Slick to the emergency room each preseason because he got dehydrated. The fun part for me was being a part of a system, being trained, starting with Coach Lundy, with these professional coaches who developed us. Coach Lundy, Peacock, Nuno Patera, Cartmill, Robin, even some of the guys who were athletes that had finished their playing days, like Elliot Perkins and Hal Cawthon. That was the fun, is being trained by these guys and developing as players, young men, and as human beings. But if there were funny moments, I'd have to say it's Javier Vivanco in the cafeteria. When you had your tray in your hand, he would snatch your shorts and your underwear down in front of a table full of girls. And boy, I remember Tony Bevilacqua. That was the funniest moment. And, and countless others, aside from when it happened to me, that wasn't funny. But when it happened to anybody else, those were funny moments. What does it mean to be part of the Alumni Association? For me, it means being part of something bigger than myself, and something that's going to go on beyond myself. So it is something that you can see these trophies in the background. Those are trophies from 2 amateur 6-a-side national championships, okay, that were won by teams comprised of a lot of College of Charleston alumni, guys done with their playing days, who came together in 1999 and 2001 and won these national tournaments. And it means doing something beyond your playing days when you're on the field as a College of Charleston player. It means continuing to do stuff. And I'm just going to have to name some players that have been on the national championship teams as well as other tournament teams. We've had great success and fun after our college playing days. So Jeff Terry, who organized the teams for all of this, John Slick, Josh Farrar, Chad Carruthers, Scott Rogers, Stephen Corey, guys that we didn't play with, like Joe Lazara, Brenty Sweatman, Rashad Miller, older fellas that were either before us or with us in those days, like Kester Linder and Randy Lowell. And then, of course, guys like Troy Lassane, who we played in a tournament in Indianapolis well after our playing days at the coaches convention. So it's things that perpetuate after that. And then it's also the stuff that's not fun. Okay, it's the phone call you get. It's the worst news that you get. It's when really bad things happen to our brothers, and we are able to come together and be impactful in someone's life in a meaningful way. And we all know what I'm talking about. There's been some people that we've lost, and we've all come together like champions, just like we did to win conference tournaments, just like we did to get to the quarterfinals of the NCAA tournament, just like we did to win these kind of tournaments. That's when we're true champions, is when we come together later on in life to be there for each other. What are you doing now? So, believe it or not, I'm working for the same restaurant group that I started with in 1996, Homegrown Hospitality Group. A lot of you guys remember T-Bones, Kaminsky's, Pearls here in Charleston. We've grown to 26 facilities in 3 states. I'm part of the corporate team. We are also in the real estate business. We have a bed and breakfast and a brewery up in Myrtle Beach, and I'm part of all of that. And I'm proud to say I'm married to the CEO, which is a woman. A lot of you know Emmy Scott, so she's not only my boss at work, but boss at home. But I'm very privileged to be doing that still after all of these years. But I did have a very good career, professional teaching career with camps, with core coaching, Suarez Soccer School, Timock Suarez, Nick Calasparis, Alf Galushin, Charlie Cook. Google Charlie Cook. He's a kind of a big deal. That was special. And those years gave me the opportunity to extend what I learned from my coaches to players who went on to College of Charleston, like Porter Massey, James and Tomas Cox, and Maggie Berlin playing for the ladies. And then I've also been an instructor for 5 years at the Culinary Institute of Charleston. So with that, guys, I hope that the players I've helped come along can perpetuate that into the future and give back the same that I've gotten. I'm going to wrap it up. I hope to see you guys soon.